This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Monday, January 13th. I'm here with Al, Brandon, Lindsay, and I'm Tori. Let's get right to it.
Happy birthday, Tori.
Thank
Happy
you.
day after her birthday.
Oh my God, thank you.
It was yesterday.
What?
It was yesterday.
Thank you.
Did you text her?
It's her
Nope,
birthday month.
didn't text me.
He didn't text you?
I was so nervous. You're a big TV star,
It
and I was
hurt,
like
it like
scared.
literally hurt my feelings.
Wow.
I'm not going to talk about it. All right, let's move on to Megxit because I'm Tori exiting from this friendship. The Megxit Summit is happening as we speak. Nice graphic to discuss Harry and Meghan stepping down from their royal duties. The Queen, Prince Charles, Prince William, and Harry will all be there, with Meghan dialing in to support her husband, according to reports. And guess what? The Queen just released a statement minutes ago saying she would have preferred Harry and Meghan to remain full-time royals, but respects their wish for an independent life. Meantime, royal siblings William and Harry are denying a British report that it was William's, quote, bullying attitude which caused the royal rift. We're also learning that Prince Harry and Meghan might choose to make L.A. their home as soon as the Trump presidency ends. And check out this resurfaced clips which might explain why Los Angeles. Take a look. So if you didn't know, that was the CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, and he was saying she does great voiceover works for Disney. But wouldn't
Every
it be
day
smart?
I'm hustling.
Yeah, that's right.
Work in the room. You saw
Right?
she was talking to Jay-Z and Beyonce. He's working on the head of Disney.
This was a plan in action.
That's how you work a room. That's like casino.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love the fact how they had the file for the global trademark for Royal Sussex. And we're talking jewelry, we're talking beers, we're talking sporting apparel,
Yeah, over 100 copyrights. They copyrighted Royal Sussex, and they did like hundreds of them over the weekend. So know that this plan has been in motion for a while. What do you
and
think?
they say the Queen is like going to push back and try to reel them back in with some offer they can't refuse. But I don't think people understand that there's no offer you can probably make Meghan at this point when her mind's made up. She's been dealing with things like racism there the whole time. There was a headline that said she's straight out of almost Compton. She's not.
Wow.
You know, and that's just how they treat her. She held her hand on her baby. There's a headline that says she's a narcissist for always having her hand on her stomach.
Oh, right.
You know, that Kate had the same hand on her stomach. They're like, how beautiful. So, you know, to know that William and Harry and Kate are all on the boards of several mental health organizations and they don't accept or deal with Meghan's mental health issues with the family, it goes to show they have no regard for this woman. So I understand why she's in Canada right now.
A lot of people are saying this is goals for when you want to leave, when you have boundary issues. This is the new goal.
Right,
Just
because
leave.
she's already in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good.
I hope people looking at this story don't fall into the easy trap of like deciding whether you like Meghan and Harry or not. You could apply this to your life and just remember that no matter what situation you're in, you're like, I can't leave this job. I can't leave this person. I've been married 12 years. I've been in this job 23 years and I hate it. You can always leave.
Yeah, I agree.
People gonna get mad. People gonna yell. They're gonna bark. But at the end of the day,
It's your life.
It's your life. And at the end of the day, it sounds bad. It sounds really bad, but it's true and kind of freeing. No one cares but you. People will yell and kind of don't leave,
Right.
but you're worried about yourself.
Yeah.
So Meghan and Harry, they want to be happy and they're leaving, so good on them.
Yeah, interesting. Well, the Oscar nominations were just released. Okay, Joker led with 11 nominations, with The Irishman not far behind. Among the others nominated are Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Best Actor nominees include Leo, of course, Adam Driver, Joaquin Phoenix. Among the ladies up for Best Actress are Charlize Theron, Renee Zellweger, and ScarJo. Now, ScarJo was also nominated for, get this, Best Supporting Actress, along with Margot Robbie and Laura Dern. Brad Pitt and Tom Hanks both got Best Supporting Actor nods. But check out the nominees for Best Director. Notice anything? They're all men. And it wasn't just us that noticed. Take a look.
Congratulations to those men. And finally.
So that was Issa Rae just giving it to us straight, being like, yeah, congratulations to those men. If you didn't know, Greta Gerwig's Little Woman is supposed to be perfectly directed and a huge miss there. J-Lo was also not nominated for Hustlers. Robert De Niro missed out for The Irishman. Adam Sandler was passed over for Uncut Gems. And Golden Globe winner Awkwafina did not even hear her name called this morning either. What do you think of the nominees? I'm not going to go there and be like hashtag Oscar so white, but you have a very white group of people, and I have to call that out. What do you guys think?
Well, I want to celebrate Cynthia Erivo, who just became the 11th black actress nominated for an Oscar right here
Harriet
for
Tubman.
Harriet Tubman.
Right.
And if she wins, she becomes the youngest person to ever win an EGOT. I love that.
Wow.
I also want to throw out a shout out to, because you know hashtag more than an athlete, got to shout out my athlete, Matthew A. Cherry, who has this animated series called Hair Love. That's and one of my former CFL football players, teammates, he executive produced it, Andrew Hawkins. So congratulations, guys. Hope you guys win hashtag more than an athlete.
That's awesome. What do you guys think? Anything about the
first of all,
whiteness of everything?
Well, Issa Rae is just always a mood, so whatever. But I think that J-Lo got snubbed because I don't think that Hustlers was the best movie ever, but I do think that her performance was phenomenal in that movie. It was way too long. I didn't love it, but she acted the heck out of that role.
I can't believe, honestly, that Awkwafina winning the Golden Globes was not even nominated.
Is that unprecedented?
I can't imagine many of that has ever happened. So big snub
someone
there,
else said that if there was more people in the pool and that if more female directors got opportunities, then we would have a better playing field, even if the guys did have the best movies this year.
I think that's total BS, but yeah, I'll go with that one. All right, this Sydney Opera House was lit up this weekend thanking Australian firefighters who are tirelessly trying to contain the wildfires. Meantime, the government in New South Wales, this is amazing, they loaded up a bunch of helicopters with food to feed the wildlife because their food is gone. Officials dropped more than 2,000 pounds of sweet potatoes and carrots in an effort to save species, including the brush-tailed rock wallaby. Thankfully, money is pouring in from the rich and famous, but the world's richest man,
Me?
It's not you, Al, it's Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. He's got a net worth of more than $100 billion, is being slammed for not doing more. So guess what he's given a total of? I'll just tell you, $690,000, which is 0.00059% of his total wealth. Even Metallica has given more, with the rock legends pledging $750,000. So I found out he makes, I think, $250 million a day, $150,000 a minute. This is Jeff Bezos, and decided to give under $700,000. Is this, do we shame him, or is that not allowed?
I'm not interested in shaming anybody who gives to charitable causes. Jeff Bezos is charitable all year round, so I did a lot of research on this, and he actually has a family research donation that gives millions to cancer every year. Last year, he gave $2 billion to education for homeless. Last year, he also gave $33 million towards scholarships for immigrants.
But when the wealth is concentrated so much in one person and a continent on
I'm not
fire,
done. He gave $10 million also for people in the military. So
True.
you cannot tell somebody where to put the money. And yes, he could give more, or he could be giving more. But to shame a billionaire who gave to the cause is kind of backwards.
To further Lindsay's point, I mean, we tell our viewers, find a budget and stick to it.
Yeah.
He's being good with his budget.
Budget?
Yes.
How much does he pay in taxes? How much does he pay in taxes?
Zero. That's why his budget is doing great.
But if you're going to shame him, are you going to also shame people who haven't given to Puerto Rico? They just got hit with another earthquake. What about 10 years ago at Haiti when they got 100,000 people died in that earthquake?
I'm saying,
are you going to shame each time
there's
someone
7
gives a
billion
certain
people
amount?
on the world, right?
Okay.
In Australia, the continent's on fire. If your wealth is concentrated with so much that it's more than the GDP of almost any other country, I think that you deserve to give or are asked to give when the world is in need. And it's an emergency. So, yeah, I'm going to think he could do more.
You know,
You has a budget. He has a budget.
I was joking. Obviously, I think he can do more, but
Yeah.
you know, he really has never been that guy.
No,
he's not
Bill Gates
Bill
is the
Gates kind of
opposite.
guy.
He didn't even sign the clause that Warren Buffett and all of them did sign. His wife signed it, but
Right,
they're not
he
together
didn't.
anymore. He didn't sign it. So he's obviously going to do with his wealth what he wants. And so what can we do about it?
The Grinch. Well, a 30-year-old man is thanking his lucky stars to be alive right now. He was rescued over the weekend from the Alaska wilderness. Okay, so a fire destroyed his home. He left him without food, clothing, or shelter for more than 3 weeks. He was located among the rubble with an SOS spelled out in the snow.
Wow.
Where's the?
So if you're out in Alaska 3 weeks, which one of us would you want to be with 3 weeks? Who would be your partner? Lindsay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say him.
Lindsay.
Thank you, guys.
She's going to laugh the entire
That's
time.
fine. I need entertainment.
Right, and laugh and heat. You know, Al?
Yeah,
correlate the laugh
she's
to
just
the
laughing. There's no correlation, but you know.
So, Tori, you wouldn't pick me, Tori? You would
To
not
be
pick
honest,
me?
you would get tall things. Like berries?
Yeah.
Berries.
You know what I mean?
It's cold.
Maybe like tree
I would
trunks.
be the
He
one
could
who
get
would think it was
trees.
fun to comb out the SOS into the snow. You would be cranky about it and not want to help us find help.
You spell SOS wrong. But I think you would be like cross-stitching nice little blankets and quilts. I'm picking Tori.
Oh my God, that's so kind.
First of all, it's not
Anyone?
true.
Al?
That's not true. I'm glad that no one even pretended to pick me.
I pick you out. I pick you.
Thank you, Lindsay, after I picked you 10
Al would
minutes.
look at us the second after and be like, well, we're dead.
I'm a realist.
Yeah.
That would be me in the documentary.
And he'd be like,
and then I said, we're all going to die
He'd just
right
go like
before
this.
the plane showed up.
And he'll do the hands. He'd be like, that SOS sign stinks.
Totally. All right, let us know who you would pick out of the four of us, and we'll read your comments. DBL, we are live, and coming up, we're checking in with two viewers who are taking control of their health and getting fit. But did the holidays derail their progress? And you, the viewer, you're our fifth host. The Catholic Church is dealing with a priest shortage, so should married men be allowed in the clergy? Your comments coming up next.
It's not.
Hi, DBL Nation. Happy Monday. It is a Monday here for me at Daily Blast Live. I spilled a little something on my shirt when they were doing my hair, so I'm wearing our new Daily Blast Live zip-up. So here we are. It's Monday. Thanks for joining us today. We are so happy you're here with us. Let's go to the desk because I want to tell them something about that Jeff Bezos conversation. So guys, with the Jeff Bezos conversation, I think I'm on Tori's side only because I read this report this morning that koalas could be in danger.
the farewell
at this
isn't a
point
straight
because of this fire. Like,
Well,
we
it's
have
about,
to do
like-
more to help.
But what
me,
about
everyone
they're
was
going to
saying
say
it's really
100,000 people died in
They
Haiti?
said a lot of people
Like,
said
what's
she'd
more
win the Globes.
important?
And a lot of people
koala
donated
or
to
a
Haiti
person?
when that happened.
But no, I didn't hear
Academy.
anyone get
This is
shamed
kind
for
of,
how
like,
much
weird that
that
she
they sent to Haiti.
Yeah, but also the richest man in the world wasn't involved in that. You know what I mean?
He should have
Bill,
been.
Bill Gates.
Okay.
I'm sure Bill Gates
weird.
donated a tremendous amount to Haiti at that point.
I think it's
because
super
he's a
weird.
person.
that if you have money,
I think
you
she's
are
like an upcoming
required
Asian American
to-
with a lot of representation.
That's the question
I
here.
think so. I think so.
I think so too.
I mean, I-
He didn't do nothing.
You're right.
And that
he
equals
didn't
1
do
million
nothing.
Australian dollars.
But like
690.
690? What is that number? Why 690?
It equals $1 million
That
Australian
equals
dollars.
$1
That's why he
million.
donated money to Australia.
That's fair,
Right.
because I started to think, like, is this for tax purposes?
Yeah, that's
Is this
an odd
something-
number. You know, you
yeah, it's an
could've
odd
added
number,
more.
but $1 million Australian.
What
Okay,
number
that's
do you
fair.
guys think he could have given
10,
with no one?
10 million.
So if he gives 10 million, we're not
If he
covering
gives
the
10
story.
million, I'm not talking about it.
No, I think people will still say that is 1% of his
Yeah, but 1
daily,
million,
you know.
I get it, but 10 billion is, I mean, 10 billion is a big number. That would have an effect. I just don't know that $690,000 is going to have an effect.
$250 million a day.
And I do see your point, like, we
10
shouldn't
million
be,
is like a penny
According
of
to the
that.
New York
we
Times,
shouldn't be shaming someone who's helping. Like, you're right about that.
It's like,
but
and I didn't want to say beggars can't be choosers, but it's also like he's helping people who are in need.
you're right,
And so
you're
that's
right.
$1 million
It's
that
a hard,
they didn't have
hard
before.
conversation.
And there are a lot of people who are upset that are saying that we got all that money to donate to Australia, but we have homeless people who are going without. You know, when it rains, that land is going to come back when it rains. That's just how it happens. It
Yeah.
burns.
I'm more
There's still
concerned
gonna
about
be
the
seasons.
koalas at
Yeah,
this point.
the
It
animals
definitely
and
was
stuff.
sitting with me.
Yes.
When I read that report this morning, I was like, oh no. And like,
Have they started to get the fire under control at all, really?
you know, I don't know. There's so many different ones burning is the biggest issue, and the wind. The winds are a huge issue there.
And
So
it's not
guys, we'll
supposed
keep
to
you
rain.
updated on these stories and all the other stories coming up. Stay tuned. Bye.
Lobby up for it. All right, welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, and there's been talk of a Catholic priest shortage, and Pope Francis has a controversial solution, ordaining married men so that followers in the Amazon won't have to go months without communion. But retired Pope Benedict is against abandoning a vow of celibacy, calling it a fashionable error. So DBL Nation, should celibacy still be required of priests?
Okay, Ed from Facebook says, I agree with Pope Benedict. Priests should not marry and should remain celibate. The church needs to come up with another solution. And listen, I respect tradition. This is like thousands of years old, you know, of a precedent. I think that we have to evolve with the times. And if there are certain places where people can't see a priest for years or months due to a shortage, you have to think about some solutions that might make sense, like a two-family home. It's not that crazy.
Yeah. Hope from Facebook says, I don't think celibacy should have anything to do with being a priest. More importantly, a vow of celibacy does not does nothing to prevent children from being molested. Ooh.
Very true.
Hope said it, not me. I just want everyone to know.
A lot
I
of
was
people
reading
think
Hope's.
that.
Yeah, but a lot of people do think that. And I think it's one of those things where at the end of the day, we're all men. We're all the species of man. So it's one of those things where I get it. It's an age-old tradition, but at the same time, I'm all for keeping up with the times.
All right, well said. Stephen from Facebook says, didn't Pope Benedict retire and take an oath of silence? Let the church evolve with the times. Well, Stephen, I think you hit the nail right on the head. There's people that want to stick with tradition. That's why it's called tradition. And people that also want to evolve. There are people that are worried that people are leaving the church in droves because it's not evolving. So I don't know. Maybe this will be one of those things where the church will kind of break off into different factions, where some will be more progressive and some will be more orthodox in the way that they view the world and they view tradition. So we'll have to see.
I was reading that the church is really scared this could turn into something that evolves even further, that women will become priests and some things they hadn't had in place. Right, it's kind of like they're so pushing back against that. Opening one door will open the rest.
Another. Yeah, interesting. Well, Michelle from YouTube says Christianity shouldn't conform to the temptations of the modern world. Specific rules are in place for good reason. Catholics must follow them or else we're going against God. I will just say I'm not Christian. I'm Jewish of my faith. My rabbi was married, and it was lovely to see a holiness between their marriage and their love. My biggest issue is what actually Hope said about the molestation. A lot of people, and this is coming from reading about it, say that had they allowed priests to get married and fulfill their sexual needs, there wouldn't be such a temptation to then do horrendous things to children. And I would think horrendous things to children is worse against God than anything else.
See, I would say that has to do more with violence against children rather than a sexual proclivity.
People say they use it because that's their only out.
Well,
which is
I think it's a place that you can go to have access to children without people raising an eyebrow. I think anytime you do have situations where kids are victimized, it's people that have access to them. Counselors, coaches, things like that. So, and especially unsupervised access. So I think that any one of those things will kind of lead the people that do have that kind of proclivity towards that. But I don't know if I want to equate that with sex.
Well, I think there's a question there, at least, to be brought up. If they were happily married and allowed to have sex, would there be such a need? And I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying, is that a question we should put out there? Love to know what you guys think. Write us in Facebook, YouTube. Coming up on DBL, 2 viewers are in the middle of their Commit to Be Fit challenge. But how did they get through the holidays? We've got an update coming up next. We're talking at the table about like connecting the two between molestation, because Rib Rot Gut says, I'm not buying the married equals less molestation argument. And I'm certainly not claiming that's it.
Something's wrong with you.
Right, like
molesting children has nothing to do with if you're a wife or partner or not. Somebody who has a wife or not a wife wouldn't do that if they weren't that type of person. I think it's
But people, and I don't know if this is true, but being not allowed to have sex, I don't know. I don't want to go someplace.
But why wouldn't you just go sneak out and find in your own house?
Because of the accessibility. It's just but it's a different. It is a disease. It's like
anybody that's attracted to children is a mental disease.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of child molesters that do have wives and kids, and they're middle school teachers, and so they come in all shapes and sizes. Unfortunately, it's hard to spot them. But I just think we always have to be very conscious of who's around our children at all times. And it's like unsupervised. As a former middle school teacher, when I would give detentions, I kept my door open. When a student would come for help with homework during their lunch period, if they needed extra tutoring, I kept my door open. There's just things that you can do to make sure that you're letting everybody know that you're being transparent. You have to be careful. Wow. Just when kids, they're our most precious resource, they need to be protected.
Stand by. Use promo code MyPromo to save 25% off your first year and get a free shredder with annual membership. Call now.
I am Nicole Lynn Griffey.
My name is Matthew Felix.
I'm here because I need to lose weight, and I need to be healthy.
My son is 5. His name's Evan, and I want to not only be there for when he's older, but be an active part of it.
Welcome back to DBL. It's been nearly 2 months since DBL viewers Matthew and Nicole started their Commit to Be Fit journey. They've agreed to make exercise and nutrition changes for 12 weeks. And today, we're checking in with them to see how they made it through the holidays. Let's take a look.
Happy holidays, everyone. DBL Nation, I'd like to show you some important things from my tree. A lot of pictures of that little boy that I love so much. All of you that have been paying a lot of attention to me and Nicole. We're working hard and we're not going to let you down, I'll tell you that. I just want to say first to Jeff, I hear you, bro, and I watched the segments, and thank you for your support saying I'm looking better.
Honestly, great job, guys. 1 month down, 2 more to go. Keep up the good work.
My goals are still like you, my man. All right, race 2, better equipped clothing-wise, thanks to my wife.
Hello, everyone. I wanted to go over my holiday experience. My friend AJ, of course, I go over his house for Christmas, and this year he went really healthy, and I'm very proud of him for that. He had dessert, but at this point in my journey, I don't crave them, I don't want them, and it's just, I don't want to go backwards, so it wasn't an issue for me. Desserts and sweets and all that stuff are not even an issue for me.
Yeah. One more. And extra even. Ooh. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Yesterday, I got in a car accident. See, I have my ticket and everything. I was driving down Pena Boulevard in the left-hand lane, and I kind of, lost track of where I was, kind of looked off, and next thing I know, I reared off to the left, and I was headed straight for a pole, so I tried to turn really sharp. The car is totaled, but, all in all, I'm just lucky for my life. So I haven't been able to get down to the gym. It's a 5-hour ordeal to take local transportation to get downtown to that gym. Gary sent me home workouts, but you just don't have that determination, and it's hard to get motivated.
Hi. Hey, Miss Nicole, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Moving forward while we're getting everything figured out, we'll probably just do more at-home workouts. Just like with anything in life, there's always going to be obstacles to goals.
Okay.
And as long as you really want something, we can always kind of find solutions.
Okay.
I also brought you a little gift
what's this?
from Emily. Yep. So this is
thank
your
you,
impact.
Okay.
And this is going to be your new best friend.
I'm very determined to do, accomplish what I want to accomplish. It's just a bump in the road, and I'm just going to get back at it.
Just a bump in the road. Way to stay positive, Nicole. Clap it up for Nicole, y'all. Keep pushing, girl. And later this month, we'll check back in to see if Nicole makes it back to the gym. And we're also going to see if Matthew's hard work shows up on the scale. You're not going to want to miss that. And if you want to join the Commit to Be Fit journey, sign up for free on emilyschramm.com/DBL. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray Banks, or you can find me at Jeray for the Slay on any social media platform. Today, I'm giving you guys a red light beauty tip. These are quick tips to make sure that you can slay in a pinch. So let's go ahead and get right to it. This week's red light beauty tip is buying 2 concealers instead of 1. Now, this is great because you always want to be able to make sure that you're able to touch up on the go. Now, 2 concealers because we want 1 shade brightening our under eye. Typically, you want to lean towards more of a pink undertone concealer or peachy finish for this, or you want a concealer that matches your complexion. These are going to be great for on-the-go touch-ups. Now, a lot of the time, you can buy 2 different ones, or you can buy a single individual concealer pack. My holy grail favorite is the MAC Studio Pro Studio Fix Concealer Palettes. Those guys are going to be able to conceal and correct for an 8-hour finish that lasts through the day. And If you're needing to work makeup more than 8 hours, then come talk to your boy, because we can go look into some ingredients, okay? Now, with that being said, you want these two different concealers for so many different reasons. Just think about it. After a long day at work, you don't look the same as you did at 8 a.m., honey. So, might as well go ahead and touch up that under eye for a quick happy hour finish, or for a quick look on the go for happy hour. And then another reason, let's just think about it. Allergies are upon us in that sickly time of the year where everyone has a cold and you're sniffling. Your nose is constantly looking kind of red. Therefore, you might as well pick up that concealer that matches your complexion and touch up for your right around your nose. Now, for your under eye, we all have leaky eyes sometimes. So brightening and keeping that brightening concealer is going to be great for on the go once again. Now, if you guys have more beauty questions, make sure you write in @Jure for the Slay on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'll meet you there. All right, guys, we'll talk to you next time.
The show must go on, even without a host. For a second straight year, the Oscars will not have a master of ceremonies. Last year, Kevin Hart stepped down from the gig after old homophobic tweets of his resurfaced. And for the first time since 1989, the Academy Awards were presented without an MC. Instead, a slew of stars handed out the Oscars, and the viewing audience seemed to appreciate the change. Last year's program attracted nearly 30 million viewers, up 12% from 2018. Still, that's a pittance compared to the most watched Oscars of all time. The Billy Crystal hosted 1998 show captivated the attention of more than 55 million people. As cord-cutting, DVRs, and social media drive viewers away from watching the program live, it seems the Academy is willing to make changes to appease its audience. As ABC Entertainment President Carrie Burke put it, quote, "Odds are you'll see us repeating what we consider to be a successful formula." And that's connecting the dots.
Before we go, we have to give a big DBL shout out to Diego, the ultimate tortoise playboy. So he is credited with single-handedly saving his species from extinction with his randy ways. He's fathered more than 800 or 40% of the giant tortoise population on the Galapagos Islands. Luckily, Diego is now retired because the 100-year-old tortoise can really use the rest.
Yes, he can. Hey, we need him on the libido commercials instead of Frank Thomas. You know what I'm saying?
Just have Diego?
Yeah.
That's incredible. He single-handedly saved his species.
Yeah,
and then they're like, now you can just go rest. He's like 100. Just go relax.
He's probably tired. He needs to rest.
He's so tired.
Smoke a cigarette and take a nap.
I mean, what a way to end a career.
Right?
Yeah, well done. It's like Barry Bonds at the end.
How many?
On some numbers.
He had 2,000 kids, or is that?
He had 40. I don't know, but guess what? He's a real bombshell.
No.
I get it.
No. All right, we'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.